Hey, Debbie, I need about 2 more minutes.
Puppy? That's a puppy. Monster, don't bark. Shh, I know you hear the puppies. You do. You hear the puppy. You do. Princess. Shh, shh, shh.
Happy New Year, dear Debbie.
Happy New Year.
How you doing?
Good.
I need to check constant contact. That's what we used to see if there's anybody who registered that doesn't have the link yet. Of course, just a few minutes before starting, I got a flood of people needing the link, having questions. you know how that goes. So if you don't mind greeting people as they come in, that'd be cool. Because I'm going to need to take me a minute to do this. How's your day so far?
Good. Good.
I think the majority of people are coming are, you know, kind of at a certain point. We waited too long. It's my fault. I should have gotten the event page done earlier and a lot more promotions. So we probably should have started promoting it 2 weeks ago. So I do apologize for that. Okay, we have 2 people that actually registered.
I think it'll be perfect the way, however it turns out.
Yeah, it will be. All right. Oh, your friend Allie. And then someone named David Watson. David's your friend, right?
That would be.
Did you get him?
Yeah, that would be this person.
Oh, great.
Because I'm on his Zoom because we did a group intention setting in a private group we have, and he doesn't know how to work Zoom, and I realized just like when I used yours, I forget to log out.
Oh, great. Okay, so David's going to join us.
Yeah, let me make sure Allie and David both have
the link. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Upstairs.
Monster Roo, you have to be shushy. Be quiet.
I'm sending you the link again in case you need it.
I have it. It's
Okay,
just
great.
sent it out.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right.
Hey, kids.
Hello, David Watson.
Hi, David.
Hey, all right, I'm going to turn on this other light. I just walked in the door. I was at Cape Canaveral. Hang on a sec. Hey, don't mind me.
Peace.
Peace.
David, this is Scott Catamas, and officially I'm introducing you. And Scott, this is David Reed Watson, and he is the Reiki rocker and also the lead singer of Alchemy's Fire and a lot of other cool music and bands.
Wow.
Super
Wow.
cool guy. And he knows all about you.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Somebody's using the wrong Zoom, so I've got to figure out who that is. Oh, it's Krishna.
A new brush. Good.
And you live near Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, I'm actually in Orlando at my sister's house, but I'm moving back your way soon, hopefully.
Oh, good. My way being Northern California or Southern California?
Northern California. I applied for a job at Specialized Bicycles as a graphic designer, and they're in Morgan Hill.
Uh-huh.
So if all goes well,
Good.
I'll be up yonder way.
Awesome. I look forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the David that she has all your guitars.
Yeah, it's all my shit, yes.
Right, right.
Holding it hostage.
Is Wendy Engel one of your people,
Wendy?
Debbie?
Oh.
Wendy Engel?
Yes.
Okay, so she tried coming in, maybe she was just testing the link. She tried coming in 20 minutes ago. So, but she has the right link. She has this one.
Mm.
Oh, there she is. She's with us. Okay. I just had to click the show non-video participants. So welcome, Wendy, and welcome, Krishna. Happy New Year, everybody. And welcome, Michaela, who just had a birthday this week. So we'll definitely celebrate her a little bit. And if people, when you're ready, turn on your cameras because we sure do enjoy seeing you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Exciting. We're in 2020. It just, and what an awesome way to go into 2020 right now. This is really awesome. I'm really grateful that we're all here. And as everybody's loading in, this is just such this is such a neat experience.
Yeah, this is like the most powerful time that we can set intentions, really let go of baggage. And so it's really wonderful to be with you and a lot of my favorite people here, Paul Sterling and Krishna, and of course, Debbie, and Michaela. And it's also nice to meet new people, meet David and getting to know Allie, Wendy. So we'll wait another minute or two for people to join us. And while we're waiting, get ready, kind of get settled in, and definitely turn your cameras on when you can. Michaela and her friend, yay!
Hello.
Introduce us to your friend, Michaela.
This is Kelsey.
Oh, it's Kelsey. I know Kelsey.
Yeah, hi,
Hey, Kelsey, good to see you.
good to see you too. I'm so excited for this class.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're joining us. Awesome. Namaste. And did you have a good birthday, Michaela?
Yes, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a really powerful time together. So I'm really grateful for those that are joining us. And while we kind of wait another minute or two, again, inviting everybody to just kind of get squared away, get everything ready so we can really drop in, go deep with each other. Mm.
Happy birthday, Michaela.
Thank you, Debbie. Aw.
Did you do something super fun?
Yeah, well, I spent the first half of it in Vancouver, and then we actually flew back here to Edmonton and spent the rest of it here. And yeah, it was great. I ate cupcakes and went out dancing, and yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
Steven's car got towed, so that was an interesting adventure we had to deal with.
No. Oh no, it's just like the worst feeling when you go to get your car and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, it's either been stolen or it's been towed.
Yep.
And actually finding yourself fantasizing, hoping it just got towed is an especially weird. It's like,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're about ready to get started. So I really would like to ask if Krishna and whoever 240 is, can turn your camera on. Wendy, is there any chance you could turn more light on? So, oh my gosh, Steve Rowland is with us. Awesome. So that's quite a trio. Wendy, if you can turn more light on, would love to see you. That'd be wonderful. And we are going to record this. But the only people that would see the recording will not be made public. But it'll be for you guys. And then there's a couple of people that registered who couldn't join us. They just want to be able to, follow along with practices. So you can really share from the heart. This is not going to be going out to the world. This is really for all of us. And so I'd like to invite us all to get ready. And let's close our eyes. And let's start by taking quite a few conscious breaths. Let's now slow down and drop in. Breathing at your own pace. And on every exhale, letting go. And on every inhale, coming to center, whatever center means to you. And as we slow down, we're creating a sacred container all the way from California to Canada to Delaware and all the way to Krishna and Australia, and then to Hawaii, and then back to California. This incredible global container that we're all going to be sitting inside of. And we're going to use this time to witness each other. As Jesus the Christ said, where two or more are gathered, so therefore am I. And for that, to me, that just means that when we are with another, then our ability to call upon higher power whatever you want to call that which is greater than us, that which is the Creator, God, Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, whatever you imagine that to be. And there's more of us here holding space for each other, serving as a witness for each other. We empower and magnify our intentions as well as the things we want to let go of. So we're going to be doing both today. We're going to be letting go of the past. We're going to be empowering and intentioning for the future. So I'd like to invite us to start by getting clear on something we're really grateful for that took place in 2019. This would be a nice way for us to get to know each other. So think of something that you're really grateful for that took place in 2019 that in a moment each of us will share with the group. And try and keep it to a minute. And when you're clear on what you want to share, you can open your eyes. I want to see that everybody's opened their eyes, then we'll move forward. All right. So I'll go first and then I'll turn it over to Debbie. And then we're going to keep people muted, but then just when you're ready, raise your hand and unmute yourself and we'll hear from each of us. So I'll kind of model it. I'm Scott and I'm currently just north of the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'm grateful for all the new beings that have come into my life in 2019, but there are two that stand out. One you just heard barking, and that's my new puppy, Jasmine Bear, who's making herself known. And the other, of course, is Debbie Garcia, who I actually met before 2019, but it was really last year that Debbie and I started really collaborating on a regular basis. And so I'm really grateful for you, Debbie. I'm grateful for your presence in my life. And I'm grateful for the magic that we've created in the past. And thank you. Thank you for being exactly who you are.
Wow. Gosh, that feels so warm and great, Scott. Thank you for how you see me and how that you hear me, and for the safety that you provide for not just me but for everybody, because it's extraordinary. When I think about who I'm grateful for, I'm actually going to model you and copy you. I'm going to be a copycat, because I'm really just so grateful for David, for Allie, for Carrie, for Wendy, for Michaela, for Paul Sterling, for Krishna, for Irene. I don't know you, but I don't need to. I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you, phone number. I think that might be Molenbeek, who's on 240. I am so eternally grateful for you, Scott, because of the tools that you've brought forward, but also for these collaborations we've been doing in 2019, and for the monumental 2020 experience that we are about to partake in. And also, I'm really super grateful for the gratitude alchemy experiment I did in 2019, and I took a big step. Because just watching and observing how everybody just embrace this embodiment of gratitude and that beingness of gratitude. And I had the beautiful pleasure of just being a witness to watching transformations and the beauty of it. So there you have it. I love you guys, by the way.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Who'd like to go next? Oh, don't be shy. Okay, I'm going to call him Paul Sterling because Paul is usually pretty good with public speaking. Paul, do you mind going next?
Thank you, Scott and Debbie, for putting it on. I am great. It was a tough year. It was a tough ass year. The world politically, emotionally, and still there's a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful that for myself for coming through the transformation with new wisdom and all the stuff behind me. I'm grateful for my new puppy, who is a terror at times and a pain in the ass, but brings me
Have you met
great
him?
joy.
Foster?
Oh yeah, he was here.
Yeah.
He stayed at the house.
Nice guy.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the background noise.
Yeah, whoever that is, we heard you. I guess that's Irene. So Irene, I'm going to mute you.
I am grateful for my beloved. We moved in together this year, you know, towards the beginning of the year, and she brings so much amazement to my life, and so, and I think I said Scott, who's been my rock, and as a relationship coach, when I get stuck, he's the relationship coach's coach. So, and Debbie, for the few things we've done together, it's going to be great sometime to actually meet you in person. So, all right, and that's my gratitude for now.
Thank you, Paul. That's all Twinkle Paul Sterling. And we didn't twinkle Debbie and myself, so we can twinkle Debbie and me real quick too. We do twinkling here to say thank you. And definitely want to invite, yay, Krishna's joined us. For those who joined us late, Mandy and Irene, if you can turn your cameras on, would love to see you. And what we're doing is we're starting just by everybody giving a 1 minute or less gratitude, something you're grateful for that took place in the year 2019. Who'd like to go next? Krishna from Australia.
Good afternoon, everyone. So what I would like to be what I am most grateful for was last year I got to make a trip to London. And I was born in London. I spent the first 4 years of my life there. And one of my biggest, I'm going to say, goals right now is to be the flame, not the moth. And I learned where all these references I had of looking outside myself for love and approval came from, or many of them. And it was a beautiful opportunity just to integrate them inside my adult self and now self-source them. And that was a big turning point in my year.
It's beautiful, beautiful. And we are going to get, by the way, we will today go through a few stages. We'll go through what we're letting go of. We'll definitely do visioning for the future, what we're going to create. But I really appreciate, Krishna, your trip to London and how awakening that was for you. Of course, nobody else in this room has ever looked outside of ourselves for love or approval. Who could relate to that? Who still finds yourself looking outside yourself? Of course, we all do. It's such a practice. It's such a habit. And so thank you, Krishna. I respect so much your self-growth. It's wonderful to be your friend and your coach and watch how you've evolved so beautifully. How about if we go to the three wonderful people? Let's go to our triad. You guys willing to go next?
Yeah. Definitely go. Okay.
Our trio of bright souls.
So I'm Kelsey, and I'm from the greater Seattle area, but I'm here and I'm visiting these wonderful, lovely, amazing beings, and really grateful to be here for one. And a huge thing in 2019 for me has been this transition in relationship. Through my life, oftentimes when a relationship has ended, it's been very abrupt, messy, painful, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. I got married in September, and we just kind of found that our relationship through marriage wasn't serving us. And so for the first time ever, really being able to transition that relationship into something more healthy, where they're, I don't know, it's like we're not friends, we're not lovers, we're not it's something completely new to me, but I'm just really thankful to have been able to experience this transition and continue moving forward with that.
Well, thank you. That's very, very vulnerable. Let's all twinkle, Kelsey. You know, thank you, Kelsey. Michaela, our happy, and before Michaela speaks, it was her birthday this week. So let's just all really twinkle Michaela, and may this just be this, boy, a birthday and New Year's, I can kind of relate. It's fantastic. Happy birthday, Michaela.
Thank
We love you.
Oh. Yeah, I think what I'm really feeling right now is just a lot of gratitude for this class with you, Scott, and just so much powerful reflections of like what I need to work on still in myself. And just all these beautiful people who are just reflecting back all the amazing things and all of the hard things still too of this growth and this path. I feel grateful for my partner, who's been such an incredible support through my journey, and everything has just been so amazing this year of living with you, and such a crazy transition moving from living on my own to living here with him. So I'm feeling really, really grateful for that. And yeah.
Another twinkling from Michaela. Beautiful. And one of my favorite men on the planet is with us. I'm so glad Steve Rowland is here. Stephen,
Hi,
what are
everybody.
you grateful for?
Yeah, the thing that came up for me the loudest was grateful for like the dance of like struggle and challenge to heart opening beauty and magic, and like just how 2019 provided a bunch of opportunities to really work out the heart opening muscle. Our relationship is beautiful and connected, but it's also had some pretty challenging times. And I've really appreciated how those challenging times have provided opportunities to open the heart wider and deeper. And so I'm grateful for heart opening fitness.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that sounds like a workshop in itself, or a class, or a book. Heart opening fitness. I like that. It's all twinkle, Stephen Rowland. And all three of you are very beautiful. Thank you. Awesome. By the way, I forgot to mention, for any of you who are new to Zoom, you can have this set on gallery view where you see everybody in little boxes, or you could have it on speaker view. So whoever's speaking becomes large. And you'll find your option if you're on a computer or a big device. Hello, Laura. In the upper right-hand corner is where you find the difference between gallery view and speaker view. If you're on an iPhone, you have to swipe. I forget, it's either swipe left or swipe right. So also there's a chat box. I should have mentioned all of this at the beginning. There's a chat box if you take your cursor all the way down to the bottom. And the chat box is a great place where we can send messages. You can send a message to everybody, or you can send a private message. So if you really want to, for example, take Stephen's new heart fitness class, you can send him a private message and say, yes, I want to study with you, Stephen. So we can send each other individual messages or group messages, and the chat box is a wonderful way to also stay connected with each other. Laura, we are starting by everybody giving a gratitude for a minute or so about 2019. What are you grateful for in the year 2019? And who would like to go next? Now I'm going to call on people if they don't volunteer. David, would you be willing to go next? Thanks.
I'm grateful that I made it through 2019. It was horrible, great at the same time.
Mm.
The fact that old relationship ended, which probably needed to end anyway, and grateful that I got to go to England for 3 months to record my next album. So all balanced out some way.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to have you with us, David. And let's all twinkle David. And we're glad he survived 2019. I'm not going to call anybody, but by raise of hands, who can kind of relate to, like, I kind of survived 2019? Who had that experience? It's kind of like one of those years. Yeah. All right. How about if we hear, I'll kind of give it in order so you guys can prepare. Let's hear from Allie, then Carrie, then Wendy, then Mandy, and then Irene. Okay, so Allie, followed by Carrie and Wendy. Allie, we can't hear you. You're unmuted, but for some reason you're, I heard a click. Still can't hear you. It seems like it might have something to do with your jack, maybe, because there was as you were fiddling, I could hear a click for a moment. It's still not. Allie, maybe you can work on that for a minute and figure it out, and we'll hear from Carrie next.
Hello.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi. I'm new to the group, so my first gratitude is to Debbie Garcia. I started a journey of spiritual enlightenment the past 2 years, and it brought me to a boot camp I was in, and Debbie happened to be in the same boot camp. And we just absolutely connected. And then I discovered Spirituality Gone Wild, and then started listening to a lot of you on that with Debbie. And so her and I spoke this morning, and she invited me to this group today. So I'm grateful for that. That's my first 2020 gratefulness, is that I get to hear and enjoy this beautiful group. And 2019 it was a pretty intense roller coaster ride, but I'm grateful for all of it. The ups, the downs, the knocking me sideways, all of the above, because it's just bringing me higher and higher in my expansion as an enlightened being. And then learning so much from y'all. So thank you for that.
Welcome, Carrie. And where are you located?
Oh, I'm in a very tiny town in the hill country in Texas. It's about an hour west of Austin.
Wonderful.
And it got very cold. I just got back from my hike, and it's very cold outside.
Well, welcome. I love that we've got people from Texas, Florida, Delaware, Canada, Northern California, Australia, Southern California. So we've got a really nice collection of people. Welcome, Carrie. Twinkling. Allie, were you able to figure it out?
I think so. Is it better this time?
We can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having some technical troubles all day. I actually live in rural Delaware at the beach, and when the weather acts up here, so does everything else. Goodness. Yeah, I definitely survived 2019 too, but I'm so thankful for all of you, because as those who I know and those who I'm getting to know, it was a year of tremendous personal and professional development for me. And David, I too had to end a relationship that was not an easy choice to make, but it was the right choice. And the growth that I've experienced as a result, and learning that it is okay to let go and trust again. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
And transmuting some ongoing things from from the past decade or so, but it's just been a tremendous, wonderful year. And I cannot wait to see what this year holds.
Beautiful. Welcome, Allie. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, twinkling Allie. Okay, Wendy, you're next. Love to hear from you.
I'm muted.
Yeah, there. Hey.
Hey, you can't even see me, can you?
We cannot see you at all. Our imaginations are going to have to fill in the blanks unless you
Well,
can turn on the light.
I look so bad. It might be better off that you don't see me.
Oh.
I'm Wendy. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a Southern girl, and I'm very thankful that I ran into Spirituality Gone Wild. Debbie, her influence has really steered me in a new direction that's very positive. I too dramatically had to end a 20-year relationship this year, and all 3 children left the nest, even the dog died. But I'm in much better shape now than I was, I think, in the beginning of 19. But I had my 4th beautiful grandchild born this year in April, and I'm expecting my 5th in February next month. So I am on my way to recovering from a lot of stress and heartbreak, and I'm working also on the alchemy experiment, the gratitude alchemy, and it's made some definite changes in my life. And Scott, I really enjoy watching and listening to you also.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Well, it's great to have you with us all the way from North Carolina. So welcome aboard. Glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Twinkling Wendy. And now that rock star with his 2 beautiful women, I think it's time for Rob and Laura and Karen. And Rob, you totally got the rock star look with your 2 gorgeous goddesses there. That's quite, you got it going on, man.
Yeah, he's pretty hot. He's part of the hot guy group.
I forgot the other day, but some guy, was it Dr. Bates? We went to the chiropractor the other day, and I had my hair down and my glasses on. This guy kept looking at me, and he was smiling and looking at me, and I'm going, uh-oh. He goes, anybody ever tell you look like Chris Rock?
No, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Yeah, Chris Rock has a different skin color, yeah.
Take your hair down so that other people can see.
They all know my hair.
No, not everybody. Okay. Anyway, just take it down. Look how beautiful his hair is, everybody.
All right. Totally jealous. Totally jealous.
We all want his hair. Okay, so I'll go first. I always say, and I really mean this, that, I'm happy to be anywhere.
This is true.
I do say that because, we all have seen a lot of things in life, and we know that life is very precious, but it's not always easy to remember that when we're trying to accomplish things, or we're trying to take care of ourselves, or, sometimes that thing about that it's all temporary eludes us, I think. So when I say that to people, that I'm happy to be anywhere, I really mean it. And I remind myself in the same moment just to be grateful for this moment. And with that, I would like to say that I am grateful, like I think it was David who had said before about, oh yeah, David. 2019 was a tough year, but I'll say honestly, it was a tough year because I was battling a lot with my ego and my mind about the way things should look. And I feel like I'm just sort of crossing a border now into 2020 about how it really looks. and somehow understanding that getting into acceptance about that is going to make a much better 2020. And letting what nature's intelligence that's inside of me and inside of all of us that wants to come through, because I know that intelligence has a much greater plan than my egoic mind could ever know. So just today, that is the most important thing to me. And I'm so grateful for that ability that my mind is like releasing and go.
Beautiful. Thank you, Laura.
Mhm.
That's a good segue. We've got a few more people to hear from, but that's a good segue into how we're going to be doing some of our visualizing. Yeah.
Okay.
And with you is my dear friend Karen. Karen,
Hi.
what are you grateful for in 2019?
Well, I'm going to sound like a layperson compared to Lolly.
No.
I'm like Twinkle. Well, I'm very, Scott, you hold a very dear place in my heart. I think through Lolly, I met you more than a year ago. Right?
Yeah.
Took a couple classes with you, and I was going through a really hard time when I first met you. I'd lost both parents, and I was in a lawsuit with my only brother, and that all ended this year. And so I feel
Last year.
Oh yeah, last year. A lot of I feel very grateful.
Yeah.
I feel very grateful for people that I love. I feel very grateful for you, even though haven't been in your classes lately. I always think about you. I just feel very grateful how I haven't come through this unscarred, but I feel much lighter, and
that's
love to you all the time.
Let's all twinkle Karen.
Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Love you very much.
Okay.
And how about the rock star?
Rock star.
Well, the rock star is sitting here with these two lovely women, one of which I've spent the last this is our second
New
Year's, and she's completely rocked my life, Scott. She's changed so much in me without even a mention of it. It's so easy to evolve around her.
Here.
I felt like I spent 54 years devolving. I met the wonderful light of my life, and I mean, this is the most magnificent time of my life. Period.
Beautiful, bless.
Meet you.
And he got to meet you.
That's right. All right, well, let's twinkle Rob and Laura and Karen, three beautiful beings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
We haven't heard from Mandy or Irene, so if either of you want to unmute yourself and share what you're grateful for. There's Mandy. Okay. At the gym, working out, multitasking. I will try and, there you go. Mandy, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful I survived 2019 also. It was one of the hardest years of my life, and I'm glad I'm kind of feeling better and trying to shed some layers of stress, and I'm really trying to find out like who am I now. I moved back to my hometown after being away for 5.5 years and being a public figure and running around as a street angel, and coming back to my hometown and then losing my sister. It's been kind of this volcanic change that I've had to adjust to, and I feel like I'm just trying to figure out like what do I want to do now, and which is why I thought it would be good to do this workshop and maybe even make a vision board of like what stuff do I want to like tackle this year or focus on. So yeah.
Beautiful. Welcome. Let's all twinkle Mandy. And I know it was a hard year for you, Mandy. So I'm really glad you're with us. She's an amazing street angel. She goes out into public, even to the Houston the Houston Stadium, with angel wings on and just promoting love and kindness. She's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
You're an inspiration, Mandy.
Thank you, Scott.
Irene, you're the last person. Do you want to unmute yourself, Irene? Can you hear us? Do you want to share? Are you there, Irene? Going once, going twice. Okay. Well, we love you, Irene, wherever you are. All right. Debbie, is there anything you'd like to share, lead us in?
Sure. I would like to, if we're going to go into what we're letting go of, I would love to, those things that are no longer serving you and the attachment that you have to that thing. And I heard Laura bring up the word attachment. When we are holding on to something so tight and not allowing the ease and the flow of things to just allow them. Have you ever realized that like that's a resistance and we're literally pushing away the very thing that we're trying to achieve? Okay, but we're also attached to what it needs to look like, what that need, well, for instance, I'm going to do this event and this is how it's looking and this is what I expect it to look like, and I'm putting all this work in and I'm attached to this and it better look this way. Or if I was creating music and I'm attached to the song and what it must sound like, and not allowing any space for flow and for things to just naturally come and create. I feel that when we're holding on to things that no longer serve us, that we're also putting a big fat stopper right in the middle of creation. So as we look at things that we really want to let go of, no matter what that might look like for you, the need to be right or wrong, the need to be right, or the need to be attached to what it needs to look like, practicing the art of interference and getting out of your own way as we are looking at the things that no longer serve us. And whatever that is for you, and really asking it, what did it serve for you? And thanking that you're letting go of. Whatever we're letting go of did something for us. The contrast is such our friend. It's our best bud. It shows us what's up and what we don't want. It really allows us to really step in that space and examine that. So just from that observation, how did it serve you? The beautiful thing you're letting go, it served you. It's been your friend for some reason. You brought it into your life. So in the moment of gratitude, being grateful for the contrast that it showed you, being grateful for the knowingness that it no longer is for your best and highest good. So as we step into the things that we want to let go of, I encourage you to thank it through this process with pure love and humbleness and gratitude, and really appreciate that darkness or that thing that you want to let go of. It's just like when we leave relationships, and how that when we leave that and we know that it's no longer serving our best and highest good. So really releasing that person, releasing that energy, but thanking them. Look at the beauty that you've had and all the gratitude moments that maybe that relationship brought to you. Maybe there's a habit that you've got that you want to release and you don't want because it's no longer serving you, but it did serve you for so long. So I love that. I say thank you for being my friend when I needed you. I don't need you anymore, no matter what that might be for anyone. So, Scott, what do you want to add to that?
Well, first of all, that's really beautiful. I love your framing that we recognize that anything we're letting go of, we don't want to see it just as bad, stupid, or wrong, but it's outdated. But there was a reason we brought it into our life. It started as a way of meeting some of our needs, or some of our values. So what I'm imagining, because this is more tender, so I'm not going to call on everyone, but I do invite everyone. I'll do a short meditation. We can drop in. I want to invite anybody who wants to express what you're letting go of verbally in front of the group. You'll have a chance to do so. The other option is to put it into the chat box. Some people might feel more comfortable putting it into the chat box what they're letting go of. And so maybe you already know, and if you already know, you can start writing it in the chat box or getting ready to share it with the group. If you need a little more time and it's helpful, just all drop in. What are some of those ways of being, habits, patterns, belief systems that no longer serve us? In this incredible new year and new decade, with so much fresh opportunity, I no longer choose to fill in the blank. I am letting go of, fill in the blank. And as we look at the chat box where people are sharing so vulnerably, just bless each person. Blessing Mandy, David, Paul, Lauren, Karen, Carrie, Debbie. As each person writes, just blessing them, knowing it to be so. So let's do another couple minutes of silence to either write it in the chat box or get clear. And then anyone who wants to express it verbally in front of the group will create time for that. Okay. Isn't it interesting as we read what people are writing, how many of those things we can relate to? Who noticed at least one other significant thing that somebody else wrote that is like, oh yeah, that's me too. All right, who would like to share verbally? Who would like to share in front of the group? Stephen.
Hi. So the thing that I'm letting go of is any tendency to misuse my time. I've chosen to fill my life with a whole bunch of really exciting professional endeavors. And one thing I've learned this past year is that to do all of those effectively, I really need to be hyper deliberate about how I use my time. And so I'm letting go of misusing my time every day.
That's beautiful. Let's twinkle, Steve. And I can so relate to that, by the way. Totally relate to that. Thank you so much, Stephen, for sharing that vulnerably. Is there anyone else who'd like to share publicly? Paul Sterling, and then Kelsey.
Well, collapsing in conflict. It's like I look at my new puppy, and when a big dog charges the puppy, he rolls over on his back and, collapses. And it's really healthy for them because there's a lot less conflict for the puppy. when he surrenders like that. And I had an older brother that would beat the shit out of me on a regular basis. And if I stood my ground, it made the beatings worse. But I realized that that became an unconscious habit of collapsing in conflict. And it doesn't serve me or my relationship when I do that. So I'm moving to less collapse and being more comfortable in the middle of conflict without having to race towards either being combative or collapsing, the two sides. I want to be more courageous, come from my heart more. So that's it. That was one of them. Being better with finances, because that's that place of uncomfort, and asking for the money I would like for the services I want to offer, and being comfortable doing my accounting and keeping track of it, and keeping score on the game of life, see whether I'm winning or losing, at least in that score. So those are the things that I think right now.
All right, let's twinkle Paul. Thank you so much for those. Yeah, thank you. And again, we're not going to call on anybody, but who can relate to some of what Paul said? Like, oh yeah, those are things I want to work on too. Yeah. All right, Kelsey, you're up next.
Hi. So something that I've actually gotten really clear on is this idea that I have that, this wanting to be not being dependent on others or of things. And this idea that, dependence has to be this negative aspect in my life. So even with the idea of having my own business, this idea that, I have to, I'm still depending on people because I have to depend on people to bring in money and bring in that finance. So really shifting that perspective more into abundance and bringing in more of a positive shift for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all twinkle, Kelsey.
Mhm.
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got to have a little love coach Scott moment here. The word that comes to my mind that I really love is interdependent. That's where we want to be, because we are interdependent. And I'm imagining that you, like probably all of us, have made the decision, I no longer want to be in an unhealthy, enmeshed, codependent relationship, right? Who else is in the, I do not want to ever be in an unhealthy, codependent relationship again, right? Okay, yeah, almost all of us. And that doesn't mean that we are islands completely unto ourselves. We are interdependent. Right now, we're all being interdependent on Zoom and on each other, right? Kind of connecting with each other. So just always making that, okay, no longer unhealthy codependent, but interdependent. And this gives me an opportunity to give what I think is kind of a cool definition. Because it's like, okay, well, when do we go from being interdependent in a healthy way into an unhealthy enmeshed codependence? And I have kind of a little formula that I've worked up on that. And here's what it is. I believe we cross the line into an unhealthy codependence when we step outside of our personal integrity in order to make someone happy or to avoid them being unhappy. I'll say it again. We cross the line when we step outside of our personal integrity in order to make someone happy or to avoid them being unhappy. Now, the key for that to work is we need to know what our personal integrity is, right? So, for example, if our personal integrity is, I don't want to stay up past 11 o'clock drinking or partying because I need to get up early in the morning and my job is important to me, and we find ourselves staying up till 1 or 2 just to make our partner happy, that's an example where we've crossed the line, just as an example. So how's that land for people? Does that feel like a pretty good, yeah? So thank you, Kelsey, for bringing that up. And here's to 2020 and this decade. No more codependence, but lots of interdependence. Laura, I think you have something to say because I can see your hand waving frantically.
Yeah, whenever I wave, that means I want to say. So I just want to offer that with all these beautiful intentions, one of my, and I'm just going to weave this into it. So one of my things for 2020 is to be kinder to myself and to look at things like, let's say I do something sacrificing that is crossing my boundaries, to know that in that moment, because I became aware of it, I'm just practicing. I'm practicing awareness, which means that, you know, if I was a baby learning how to walk, nobody would hit me if I fell. They would celebrate that I fell, right? But somewhere we lose that as we get older. Like we're not allowed to have anything that isn't perfect to happen. And that I want to really have an intention this 2020 to look at myself as if I am a little baby that's learning to walk. And it doesn't matter that what age I am now. You can only get what you can get, and look at everything as a practice. You know, just like we meditate, there's nowhere really to get when you meditate, right? You're just meditating because it feels good. There's nowhere to get. And if we could look at things like that, you know, for me, just practicing, it's just, I think it's such a better way to live. So.
Laura, that was awesome. Let's all twinkle Laura for that absolute wonderful wisdom. And yeah, absolutely. We are all babies learning. My friend Krishna is next to share. And you're muted, Krishna.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Thank you, thank you. So I let go of the need for acceptance, looking outside myself for self-worth. I let go of the need to be a martyr and to take on endless amounts of responsibility. These patterns have meant I sacrificed my truth, my desires, my self-care, and my presence.
Beautiful. I love how clean that is. Very clean. Big twinkling for Krishna. Wendy, do you want to go next? Did I see you raising your hand?
I realized just yesterday
she's cute.
that the trauma that I went through, ending my relationship, that I have definitely been in victim mode. And I didn't realize it. It's very emotional to talk about. And I wanted Debbie to know this because I think that's very good progress. And that is definitely something that I have to let go of before I can do any more healing. Thank you.
Big blessing and twinkling for you, Wendy. Thank you for sharing and being with us and opening your heart so beautifully. Thank you. Wonderful. Michaela.
Gosh, I'm like actually feeling kind of overwhelmed at like the amount of things that I want to shed. So, or let go of. So I like felt hesitant to say anything, but here I go, I guess. I think the biggest thing that comes up is letting go of my smallness thinking and my tendency to, you know, choose avoiding fear and pain over facing my fears and choosing love and openness. And yeah, it's a big one. yeah, letting go of fear and really stepping into what I know that I'm capable of.
Can feel that one with you, Michaela. I think we can all feel it with you.
Thank you. I think I'll, yeah, be done there.
Thank you. David.
Thank you. Mine's like Michaela, a lot of it involved. I think I put down the self-worth part because I think that all ties into it. I tend to self-sabotage myself and hold myself back from my greatness. I'll do that by playing small. Or, I mean, right now I'm living at my sister's house. You know, I'm 56 years old. My finances are horrible. And I have all the tools for greatness. And yet they're, I squash it for some reason.
So I'll twinkle David with the knowing that you're now moving forward into our wonderful new year, new decade. And I just want to speak now to just something that brings up is that probably all of us have some shame around something. You know, as a coach that I've now worked with thousands of people, I really believe shame is the great human epidemic. You know, we have shame about the way we look, shame that we aren't more financially successful, shame that we aren't fill in the blank. And when we're in shame and we're running shame-based thoughts, it triggers the freeze reaction in our reptile brain. And when we're in freeze, we go into paralysis. And when we go into paralysis, then we don't accomplish, which adds to the shame. And so there's like this cycle that I see so many, including myself, friends, clients, myself, that we get on of I'm ashamed about something. I go into freeze. I go into paralysis. If there's an addiction or a compulsion or something that helps me kind of get through that, I do more of that, which then adds to the shame and becomes like this whole cycle. You know, who can relate? You know, I think almost all of us. And so that's why I really believe that the meaning of life is we're here to learn to love ourselves. I really believe that. And learning to love ourselves is radical acceptance of whatever it is we shame ourselves for. 56, staying at my sister's, however old, not making more money, or not being in the relationship I've always wanted, or the relationship I had, I lost, or whatever it may be. Whatever it is we have. Learning to acknowledge what I or we shame ourselves for, and practicing radical acceptance of the perfection of that. I am magnificent. I am wonderful. I am God experiencing itself as a 56-year-old man who happens to be sleeping at his sister's right now, or whatever it is. Right? Just remembering we are life, or you can call it God, or call it existence, experiencing itself as us, having the unique circumstances that we're having, and we are not our circumstances. We are not our circumstances. We are not our circumstances. Debbie, do you want to add anything to that?
Can I say one quick thing?
Absolutely, Paul.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, I have no shame about not being a good helicopter pilot. I've flown a helicopter once or twice, but I never devoted myself to it. And so I don't expect it. The only places I have shame is where I think I should, and I really have not trained in that area, or I'm, so the shame comes in from the second part, not from living with someone or not having money, or the shame kicks in for me when I think that I should be a good helicopter pilot and yet I haven't trained. I should have my money together, but I haven't. I should have, so it's really like a two-part formula. We're all not good at something. I really love what Laura said. I'm taking that to heart. I'm walking away. That made everything so tight for me. It's like, how do I not treat myself like I should know how to fly a helicopter? And if I do, then I can come with curiosity and like a little kid, like I want to learn something new. And if I think I should already know it, I come with so much crap around it. Like I should know by now, I should know all about money. So I'm having to surrender and go, let me be curious. So anyway, thank you for bringing that up, Scott.
Thank you, Paul, for that wisdom. Absolutely. We're all learning and growing as fast as we can. And it's all life experiencing itself through us, learning these lessons. Beautiful. Debbie or anybody else want to add anything on this topic? Karen and then Laura.
I love, actually,
Karen and Laura and then Debbie.
Okay. So Karen, go ahead.
Oh, hi. I have no idea exactly what I'm going to say, except I wrote about blaming others, and I just did a little session with Laura, and what came up for me is how I blame myself plenty, but blaming others. And I realized I live with a man who has triplet 14-year-old daughters, and I mean, like in the perfect situation of blaming. I could get so easily annoyed. I blame them, and then I was talking about overdosing on sugar. And so the combination is like,
yeah.
So I realized I let myself spiral into that, and it's like the perfect situation if I want to stay steeped in blaming and eating the sugar and all of that. In other words, I'm just seeing it more clearly.
That's good.
I'm trying to see it more clearly, but I'm almost looking at it as like something that is humorous.
Yeah.
Some humor to it,
Yeah.
I know, Scott, you know something about it. God.
Yeah. So
anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Blessings on Karen. And I just want to say for a second, she kind of said in passing, but I'll drop in. Imagine if you were in a relationship with someone who had not one, not two, but 3 teenage daughters from another partner, and that partner happens to be a drug addict who's crazy. And so you're now having to take care of not one, not 2, but 3 triplet teenagers with raging hormones flying through their body. So personally, I think Karen is going to be canonized someday.
Yes.
Well on her way to sainthood.
Yes.
Well on her way.
Yes, it's
incredible
amazing.
patience, remarkable. And I would be taking sugar intravenously if I was. I'd be shooting it up. Laura.
Okay, so I just, Scott, I just felt this, like, when you said that last thing about, I forgot exactly how you worded it, but
it was before Paul made his comments, but you basically just kind of wrapped things up and said, if we could, look at ourselves as, I forgot how you said it, but what I noticed was my inner child just went, okay. So I know you run this mantra as of late with Ram Dass, right? I am love's awareness.
I am loving awareness.
Love and awareness, right.
I am loving awareness.
Yeah. So I was just, my little inner child just wanted to tug on your coattails and go, Scott, okay, I get it. And I said everything I said earlier, but how do we really, I know that changing behaviors and thoughts and stuff is the mother of repetition, right? Tony Robbins says that. But how do we really embody that? Because even though I know things aren't perfect in your life, Scott, you have this ability to just, I don't know, you have this presence that, I don't know if it's because you run the mantras all day long. So I guess I just want to know, what the hell do you do? That's what I want to know. Everyone's twinkling that.
I have faith. That's really the honest answer. I have faith. And I do truly believe in all my heart that ultimately everything works out. And that includes my wife dying in my arms. That includes hard stuff, right? But I do have faith that we live in a friendly universe.
Okay. Yeah.
And so for anybody who's listening, if you have faith, practice cultivating it. And if you don't have faith, find it.
Find it. Okay. I love that, because I have faith, but I heard this saying once and I love it. It's like, hope is walking through the fire, but faith is leaping over it. Jim Carrey said that. Jim Carrey said that. So
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
one. Now, Debbie, I can't wait to hear from Debbie.
Okay, it's Debbie time.
Hey. Oh my gosh, you guys are just extraordinary, all of you. This has just been so beautiful. So I've asked myself, what if this story I'm telling myself isn't true? When I'm basing it on what if, I ask myself that question a lot when I'm looking at my worthiness or my deservingness or my ability to receive, or however it is, if I'm talking to myself and I'm battering myself and I've turned into my own perpetrator, I've started observing the story I'm saying to myself and saying, what if this isn't true? And really letting it kind of sit in. And then I said, am I going to allow, because I just had some shit happen, you guys, not about a week and a half ago. And I got this great experience to pull a Bruce Lee and fight without fighting. And also to observe, am I going to let this experience be evidence for my fear, false evidence appearing real, bullshit belief systems that are stuck down in there? Are they still stuck? Let's find out. Let's see if that's true or not. And I really stepped back and I used this opportunity of contrast to appreciate it, seeing that, how is this working? This is for my good. Life is not against me. How is this working for my good? And it takes a bit, because my ego is just like, I wanted to, right? So I really had to get calm in the middle of a storm. But it really came down to, what do I want that to be for me? Do I want it to just be this evidence saying that this is who you are and that's just how it is? Shit hits the fan. And David, I love that you shared that so openly, because it's true. We look at things and we say, well, this is who I am. And Scott said, we are not our circumstances. So again, the evidence, what are you allowing that evidence to be for you? And the curiosity Paul brought up, what if it's not true? What if this story you've been telling yourself this whole time just isn't the facts? And the other thing I can promise everybody is that when you choose to start getting happy right where you sit, no matter what it looks like, and I promise you, I'm speaking from my experience right now, things change. Things change. It's all the perception of me choosing not to look and say that this shit's flying and this is happening and my life sucks, to how this is working for me and stepping really into that space of acceptance and gratitude, because you have to be in full radical acceptance of everything in the way it is before we can fly into that appreciation factor. So this is why I say to thank these things, because when I've approached it this way in my life experiment, and somebody else said something almost to the same effect, but I call it a life experiment. Let's experiment with this. I think it was you, Laura, wasn't it? In a sense, but talking about life being an experiment. So what I love to encourage everybody with is, seriously, that is, experiment with anything and everything that feels right for you in this process of releasing things that do not serve you. And you have all of the control on how that you want to deal with your memory banks, and how that you want to then shift your perspectives on how that you want to see them, because it's quite possible that the crap you've told yourself isn't true. So.
Thank you. So this is gonna be shorter than we originally planned. But here's what we're gonna do. If you're interested in setting up an accountability partner, or being part of an accountability group pod, please send me your name, phone number, and email address. And I'll put together a roster, and then I'll send that out to everybody so we can set up either accountability partners or pods. And accountability is just really important. Like, okay, holding each other lovingly but firmly to what we're letting go of and what we're about to express, which is what we want to create, what we want to manifest. So sometime over the next, I don't know, we're probably going to be another 30 minutes. If you're interested in being an accountability partner or having, being part of the accountability group, if you will, either a partner or a pod, let me know, give me information, and I'll manage kind of getting that handled. And we're going to go into our last big exercise, but this is really a good one. I'm very excited about this. But before we do, I want to welcome Paul McFarland, who joined us late. Hello, Paul. Wonderful man. How is your foot? Is it just damaged or is it broken? Oh, good. Seems to be okay. You went, we can't hear you. You're muted, Paul.
It's not broken.
Great. All right.
It's perfect Aquarius injury. A tank of water.
Ouch. Ouch. Well, I'm glad your foot is okay, and I'm glad you're with us. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. So I invite you all to close your eyes one more time, because I'm going to take us into a brief little visualization, which will get us ready for our final and most exciting part of the afternoon. So once again, taking some conscious breaths at your own pace, and coming more and more with each breath into alignment with your highest self. And I'm going to do some mantras, which if you want, you can do them silently along with me, or even verbally along with me, since you're all muted. And if you relate to the mantra, great. And if you don't, you can replace it with your own. I am a clear channel for spirit to flow through. I am a clear channel for spirit to flow through. I am a clear channel for spirit to flow through. My will and thy will are one. Always thy will be done. My will and thy will are one. Always thy will be done. My will and thy will are one. Always thy will be done. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am life experiencing itself fully through my body temple and my unique filters. I am life experiencing itself fully through my body temple and my unique filters. I am life experiencing itself fully through my body temple and my filters. All of these mantras are just ways of helping us to access that which is greater than ourself, coming through ourself, partnering with ourself. And we open our wise heart. That part of our heart that longs for that which life wants to experience through us. And remembering that from the highest perspective, there's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong. Life just wants to experience everything it can imagine through you, through me, through everyone in this group, through everyone in this world. So now the question becomes, and we're going to have a couple of minutes of silence as you reflect on this. What does life want to experience through you this year? What is your greatest heart's desire? What does life want to experience through you in 2020? Take as much time as you need, getting clear. Picking at least 2 or 3 parts of your life that you can imagine, you can feel life wanting to experience through you. It could be personal, professional, an experience, a relationship. And when you're clear, opening your eyes, and we're going to take turns sharing with each other what's come through. So if you're still getting clear, that's beautiful. As we share with each other, you can share it however you wish. But one kind of fun way to share it, and I'll model this for you, is imagining that it's actually 1 year from now. It's December 31st, 2020. And you're looking back at the year and celebrating what took place, celebrating some of the highlights of this year. So that way we're stating it like the fact that it's already happened, which is in creative visualization, a nice way to anchor it in. So you don't have to do it that way, but I like doing it that way. So I will model it. And my request is that when another person is speaking, connect to that part of yourself that's really high vibe, your own inner powerful being, your own inner super being, and just hold the vision, knowing it to be true, knowing that as Debbie speaks or David speaks or whomever's speaking, yes, absolutely, this is going to manifest in perfect timing, in perfect ways through you. Okay, so staying focused and really giving the gift of your positive visualization, your positive power of concentration and inspiration and faith, blessing each and every one of us. So if you're down for that, raise your hand. If everybody's good for this, raise your hand. Okay, great. Thank you. So I'll go first and I'll keep it brief. 2020 was a great year. My God, it was such a good year. I can't wait to see what's going to happen the rest of this decade. The 20s are truly roaring. It was a year that I really reclaimed my health and vitality. I really got strong again, felt inspired again, found myself as every day went by, as every week and month went by, I was more and more filled with God consciousness, with inspiration. And as a result, just all parts of my life really blossomed. I had some wonderful new roommates that moved in right at the beginning of the year, and that was really exciting and incredible. Really added a lot. Started really enjoying being back in my home again in Hidden Valley Lake. But at the same time, I traveled more in 2020 than I have in a long time. I went to the Hawaiian Islands in March for 3 weeks teaching. I then came back for a few weeks and then went on an amazing spring tour of the East Coast, starting in Asheville, North Carolina, and ending in Atlanta. Came back and then had the most amazing summer in Europe, where I had several people promoting me and made so many new friends, so many new connections, and fell in love with Europe. And what was really cool was Europe fell in love with me. And then autumn was really spent really building on all those new connections, all those new relationships. And throughout the year, the other big thing that I'm really proud of is how many of my love coaches really took off. How many of the people that have trained with me built really successful practices. People like Mandy, Michaela. It's just so cool watching them become enormously successful. And of course, watching Debbie really becoming financially successful doing what she loves so much. So just a fantastic year, and I'm very grateful for it. Well, thanks for listening.
I love that. I'm going to supercharge you. I'm going to supercharge you. You remember that day? Okay, so we all hung out. You remember back on New Year's Day, and we were all hanging out and making these intentions?
That's right. We did that online play shop.
Right. And okay, so what you didn't see was this extraordinary reality show that's been created now. Oh my God. It is seriously amazing. You know, we went into it knowing some greatness was going to happen, but now we're looking back going, holy mackerel. Now we're hitting homes everywhere, and now we're hitting people everywhere. And your tour, yeah, I mean, it was seriously incredible. Now you're booked out, and you know, soon you're going to be on Oprah, which is, I'm like waiting for that one, and it's already booked and ready, and it's happening. So I am loving that this 2020 has just been so rock star. And you are right where you need to be with in all of your relationships too. So congratulations on such a badass 2020.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for
You've
co-creating it with me.
charged.
You want to go next, Deb?
I think I kind of did because mine's sort of the same, but I will say 2020 was an absolutely extraordinary year. I was able to reach more and more people. Spirituality Gone Wild was able to really perform as a platform. So other people who are doing great work can be seen even in a bigger, brighter way. And and I'm grateful for 2020 bringing the year of abundance to allow my lovely philanthropist type of attitude to flourish so I can go out into this world and really rock and roll it. 2020 is just the year that has been this year of co-creating in collaboration in a state of compersion with everybody, all of our combined collective dreams. And we're all in this together, and 2020 has proven to be that year that we are all in this together and achieving that greatness and that level inside of us that we all desire to seek. So 2020, loving it.
Twinkling Debbie and knowing it to be so. Yes, yes, yes. And Stephen Rowland is going to be our next person sharing his vision.
2020 was an amazing year. I spent an extremely large portion of my year in a deep state of ease and flow. There was an atmosphere of ease in my internal environment as well as my external environment. And I applied my power and my will with laser focus. And I was able to accomplish all of my goals, professional, financial, relational, and spiritual.
Yes.
Above and beyond what I expected.
Yes, yes, yes. Big twinkling for Stephen. Absolutely. Yes. While we've got the focus on that beautiful box of 3 people, Michaela or Kelsey, do either of you want to share?
You go. Okay. Wow. 2020 has been such a life-changing and amazing year, and I went above and beyond in so many ways. I served more people than I had thought possible in so many deep and intentional ways, supporting them and moving forward. I reached twice beyond my financial goal, and I spent a lot of the time traveling to really beautiful places and cultivating deep and meaningful relationships and connecting with my inner love and my divinity and bringing that forward and offering that as a reflection to those who I work with, and just creating this magnificent community that's really ready to step forward and shift the world and making it a more peaceful and beautiful place.
Yes. Big twinkling for Kelsey. Wonderful. The world is a better place for all of you. Michaela?
2020 was wild and unexpected and beautiful. I stepped so deeply into my music and went all in and really blossomed in my songwriting and sharing my voice. I built my coaching business and feel so amazing serving people in the way that I is so just aligned in what I want to do in the world, and stepped into deep beautiful service and devotion and love and heart openness in my relationships. And it's just beautiful.
Cannot wait to hear you singing. That's going to be quite the treat. That's wonderful. Thank you, Michaela. Big twinkling, big twinkling.
Can I just jump in real quick? Yeah, I just wanted to jump in for a second. This is so much fun, you guys. Our imaginations and getting into our creativity, this rocks. But I wanted to mention something. The reason that this practice works, and it works well, and I encourage you guys to do this a lot, is because when our brain, when our conscious mind is creating these experiences, it doesn't know, our bodies, it doesn't know if it's happening right now or not. When we're really stepping into this energy of what it feels like, our mind is going to start creating the circumstances to align us with that we are stepping into right now. So just keep that in mind. Get that imagination. Just be playful. And I love what you guys are sharing. I mean, quite frankly, I want some of yours and yours and yours. Like, this is beautiful. This is co-creation at its best. I love you guys. You rock.
Yeah, thank you. You're absolutely right, Debbie. This is how we do it. This is how we create it. Laura is up next.
Hi, guys. So 2020 was an amazing year. I really, you know, I've really tried to understand the depth of what it's like to live a life where to live in complete gratitude of the fact that I get to be here, and anything and everything that's happening around me. I've really learned this last year how it's almost an instant yes. And I've stopped labeling whether things are good or bad. I've learned how to embody complete acceptance while still giving my childlike nature reassurance, comfort, and care. And through that, I've just noticed this wondrous world that's opened up for me that continues to expand, and it just continues to show me all sorts of amazing possibilities. Some of them hang on, some of them don't, but they come and go, and it's all like this magical, it's almost like watching one of those Disney movies. And every day it's like a new adventure, and I don't even have to think about it. And the best thing is I'm not going to get that many more wrinkles because I'm not worrying anymore. But the worry's gone, and that was the best thing I learned in 2020 and embodied.
Yeah.
Big twinkling. Notice how it's just lighter. Laura, oh my God, you look at all the years are going away. She's getting younger and younger. That's awesome. Thank you. Karen, do you want to share anything while we got the spotlight on you?
Okay. 2020, can someone else go next? I'm blank.
She's blank.
That's totally okay.
Not so
and not everyone needs to go. It's totally okay. There's no pressure.
Mhm.
Who would like to go next? Who would like to share next? Paul McFarland. You're up, Paul.
Well, the year started a bit strange, I remember, because as an Aquarius, I dropped water tank right on my foot. Sorry, my accent has gotten kind of strange because I've been living now in Amsterdam for 8 months in this perfect canal house. You say Grachten housing. And I've got heel veel geld in sorry. I have so much money now in my bank, over 130 million in the bank now. And then all the clients I work with are just so happy with me. The second screenplay I showed and is going to be filmed soon. My love, my mooie vrouw is with me, and everything is good. Health is good, and I bike every day. And it's just perfect. Everything is just wonderful. And it's just all because I dropped something on my foot in the first day there. Made it perfect. It's all about het water, you know. So it's alles is het goed.
That was fun. That's really, really fun. Good job. Who else would like to go? David, you're up.
Well, I guess I didn't realize how much of a hit my solo album was going to be after all these years of playing with bands. I've been in Europe 4 times this past year. Actually joined Paul, and we went and rode the Pyrenees because I'm a big cyclist myself. And it was nice to see everything happen. And once I got out of my own way, and it's, yeah, I wish I would have done that 20 years ago.
And tell us more, like, how has the success of that record impacted you?
Now that I have my own independence, and I'm really not relying on anybody else per se, it's allowed me to give others that I've always wanted to do anyway. That was probably the biggest thing.
Anything else about 2020 that really stands out for you that you want to share, David?
Besides it being a magnificent year, you know, I guess it's pretty easy to say that my finances are well in stock. I pay for my own way over to Europe every time I go. So, you know, next stop's Japan.
Beautiful. Twinkling David, what a great year you had.
And you have a free place to stay in the Netherlands anytime. We'll make music together, okay?
Perfect.
Paul Sterling.
Wow, 2020. I know it's not a political conversation, but it was the year I got to vote for a president I was actually proud of. Whew, thank God for that. My business took off. All of the 25 years I've been studying for coaching, it's like all come together. It's become easy. I have become like the Tony Robbins of relationship coaching. I have $10,000 to $20,000 a month in residual income. My relationship with my beloved partner is better than it ever was. We're traveling around a lot, and we actually have a house now in Hawaii along with one in California. There's a waiting list for working with me. My mountain biking has gotten better, and I'm back whitewater kayaking again. And my hip is no longer a pain in the hip. I am, yeah, I see that, Paul. I got then the roll, yeah. So, and traveling, doing workshops around the country was a phenomenal success. And I've been interviewed by Tony Robbins and by Oprah, and there's a sense of relaxation and ease. You know, I'm not like as stressed out. Thank you. It was a cool day that we committed to this.
I'm so proud of you, Paul, knowing you all these years, and I'm so grateful to see you so wildly successful. It's awesome. And you deserve it, buddy. You worked hard. Who else would like to go? Laura. And then Krishna.
Well, sorry. Karen thought she wanted to, but then she changed her mind again.
Okay, that's quite all right.
Okay.
Krishna, you're up.
Okay, I'm here. So 2020 has been an amazing year for me. What have I done? I've reclaimed my health and vitality. I have a new relationship with my body, my soulmate. I've been living with gratitude. I've been living with love in me and around me. It's been good because I've actually lived a year of presence. I've had this thing called work-life balance that everyone strives towards. I got it. been living with presence, been living with vita, with aliveness. And I learned how to connect with my intuition at a level that I never had before. I have a closer connection with my children, and that's been allowing me to relive my childhood. I've had fun this year. Thank you.
Congratulations, Krishna. And I so enjoyed visiting you again. You know, maybe this will be an annual event. Thank you. All right. Isn't this fun? Who's next? Who else wants to go? We've got a couple people we haven't heard from yet. Karen's ready. Yes.
Well,
Yes, Karen's ready.
it's
Come
one
on.
of these again. I don't know what the hell I'm going to say, but
None of us do.
None of us
I
do.
have, I'm doing very little blaming. I'm taking a lot of responsibility and not blaming any teenagers for me being miserable or, and my body pain's gone. It's just amazing. I no longer have the pain in my hip or my toe, or I've gone back to skiing. I'm hiking all the time, swimming, but I'm even done some helicopter skiing. It's amazing. And no, it's serious. And I actually am doing some traveling around on my own, and I found a place in New Mexico that I really love going. And connecting up with a lot of friends that I haven't connected up with because I'm too busy because of 3 kids excuse. And I'm just feeling lighter and really happy, and I feel really grateful a lot of the time. Thank you, everyone.
So happy for you. You deserved a good year, Karen. You really deserved it.
Rob and I have gone on a couple trips with Karen.
Oh, good, good. Carrie or Wendy, do you want to share with us? Carrie, awesome.
Sure. Yeah, so 2020's been epic. I reclaimed my health, and I feel stronger and better than I've felt ever in my adult life. And I'm working on my 4th book in the series. I finished my 2nd book in the beginning of the year, and my 3rd book in the June, and now I'm working on the 4th book in the series. And so I've been traveling the world and connecting with our young adults and sharing the message of enlightenment, expansion, loving themselves, finding their gifts, and living in gratitude and meeting all these great people everywhere I go. I seem to run into somebody that Debbie connected on Spirituality Gone Wild, or, I met in one of these meditation rooms like we did last year at the end of the year. And it's just been epic. And let's see, we're looking at either bringing the books to Broadway or in movie version, but I prefer live theater, so I think that's the deal I'm going to head for.
Wow, that's really exciting. Congratulations, Carrie.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh, it's the love of my life.
And tell us about the love of your life. What are some of the qualities?
Let's see. He is on his spiritual journey as well, and we connected instantly, and we live in gratitude and communicate well our needs and allow each other the space to go through this journey and with much gratitude and love. So when we hit an obstacle or a rough patch, so to speak, we allow each other to go through that and feel the feelings that that they feel or I feel, which are valid. And, but we communicate that. And because I've learned to be a great love communicator. And so
Fantastic.
each other. We're just enjoying the ride.
That's fantastic, Carrie. Big twinkling. Congratulations on your wonderful year.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me share with y'all. I appreciate it.
It's great to have you with us. Well, Wendy, all eyes are on you. Tell us about 2020. But you have to unmute yourself first. I can try to do it. I unmuted you. You're good.
I'm going to be honest, I'm having a really hard time with this.
Yeah.
So I think it's more work I have to do before I can dream.
Yeah. That's really understandable. You know, sometimes we're so in the mourning stage, so in the just kind of coping with the hard thing that it's not a time that we are capable of dreaming or imagining the future. That's really okay. That's okay.
Yeah, just being honest.
Yeah, thank you so much for being honest. So let's just all say a prayer right now for Wendy. And our prayer is maximum grace for Wendy. Maximum grace. Maximum grace for Wendy. Maximum grace.
But I really enjoyed listening to everyone.
Good. It's inspiring, isn't it?
Yes.
I got envious of. I got a little envious about Carrie. She's selling books and getting movie offers. It's like, whoa.
I couldn't top those.
Past
Anyway,
my butt there, girl. Laura, you're up.
I just wanted to offer that I think that there's this book I read a long time ago. It's called The 10-Second Miracle by Gay Hendricks. And the 10-second miracle is exactly what you just did, Wendy. You just spoke your deeper truth in the moment. And that's where all faith can come through, is when we acknowledge that in this moment, the dreaming is hard, or it feels like it's not. And that is absolutely the 10-second miracle, because that's where the universe can start to help us, is in that deeper truth. So I just want to say thank you for reminding me that it's okay. Not only is it okay, it's absolutely necessary as we evolve to say, this doesn't feel okay and it doesn't feel good. So thank you for reminding me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, beautiful, beautifully stated. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're wrapping up. In a moment, I'll turn it over to Debbie to offer any of her last thoughts. Just want to let you know that about a third of the people that are in this group are part of our regular Saturday morning class. Every Saturday morning from 10 o'clock until around 12 noon Pacific time. Those of us who are associated with Love Coach Academy meet, and we work on developing the tools of emotional intelligence and compassionate communication. And then we practice on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So if you're interested in being part of that group, please send Debbie or myself a Facebook private message, and we'll get you more details and talk to you about it. And I just want to thank everybody. I still need to hear from some of you if you're interested in participating in an accountability pod or partner. And, or if you want a copy of this recording, let me know. And you can, again, private message me on Facebook is the easiest way to do that. And then I can send you a copy of the recording or put you into the accountability group. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to turn it over to Debbie to lead us out of here.
And monsters might help us. I want to take just a second really quick. And Wendy, I would like to just acknowledge you and to say how much I appreciate you, but also to acknowledge the beauty of the fact that you stepped so boldly and so beautifully right into what your truth was in the moment. I'm loving you 1,000 times over because it was just so beautiful. Rock star, girl. That's rock star material, girlfriend. That's how you roll that, baby. That's how you roll it. I appreciate everybody here today, and I am holding intention. I make the mindful intention to go forward with love, to the best of with unconditional love, to the best of my ability, and who may I be of service to in gratitude. And as we all just remember each other as we are continuing to go into our evening tonight, and just hold this energy in this space. Let's all just take a moment and really feel into the energy of each other. Let's put our hand on our heart and let's connect. Let's remember who we truly are. We are not this body. We are not any of our stories, but rather we just are. I am that I am. And I encourage everybody to deeply get into their I ams by making a list of all of those that make a new list. Even if you have an I am list, really have it handy. Let's remember who we are. Let's take a moment, feel your heartbeat. I sometimes find it in my throat. Really feel your own heart and the oneness that we are. Love is all that there is. In the broader scheme of things, guys, in everything that we've experienced and everything we're going to experience, the one constant is that we are truly love. And love is all that there is. There is nothing more and nothing less. When we leave our earthly bodies, we get to take that with us. So as you go into this evening, remember and feel the connection. Feel our connection right now. How much I love each of you. The warmth of connection and the beauty that you are. Divine, beautiful, spark, an essence of the Creator. Just feel it into your heart and feel your whole being as it lights up right now. You remember this greatness inside of you, that you are a badass, you're a rock star, you were put on this earth, and baby doll, you were supposed to be here. Remember that. That's why we're here. Loving every ounce of you in gratitude. And remember to practice that special little word, because it's alchemy and it's definitely going to transform anything that's not feeling good. I love you guys, and thank you for being here with us today, with being here with me, for sharing so beautifully, so openly. And just remember, as you go in to this year, rock it like nobody's business ever. Just let you be you and come out, and you're going to be the best you anyway, period. I love you. Whoa, whoa. Now I'm going to say Nickelback. We all want to be big rock stars. Oh, just kidding. Love you, Paul.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you, everybody. Looking forward to bringing this wonderful year with each and every one of you. Looking forward to our next connection. Have a beautiful, beautiful New Year's Day. God bless you, everybody.